What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Think Tank TV. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate that. Let's talk about snitching. Let's talk about snitching. What is snitching? Who's snitching? Does snitching get stitches and all that? All the stuff you hear about that. Point blank. Point blank. Snitching is. I mean, everybody knows what snitching is. Well, let me take that back. That's why we having a discussion. Obviously, snitching is telling on somebody. But it's level to the snitching thing. It's level to who is snitching. Anybody that has a crime committed against them, they're not into the street life. They don't do anything involved in these streets. If somebody come in your house and rob you, somebody come in your house and harm your family, somebody break into your car, if anybody does anything to you that's against the law, I don't believe that's snitching. If you don't know this person from Adam, they come through you, they assault you, they harm you, they harm your family, they come at you with guns, they come at you to intentionally do harm against you, go ahead and call the cops. Call the cops. They didn't have no thoughts about your well-being. They don't know if your mom was in there. They don't know if your kids was in there. They don't know if your sick grandma was in there. They don't know what you were doing. And somebody can feel like they can come to you and assault you, hurt you, do whatever. That's on you to protect yourself, and that's on you to protect your family in the way that you feel is best for you to protect your family. If you feel reaching out to law enforcement is what's best, that's what it is. Now, I'm not sitting here condoning snitching. Oh, well, what is snitching? It sounds like you're condoning it. No, I'm not. If me and you go commit a crime and I get caught and I tell on you to help myself or to get lower jail time, that's snitching. If I'm involved in criminal activity and I go tell the law enforcement about other criminal activity that's going on in the community, in the world, that's snitching. You're a criminal. Only criminals can snitch. I'm not talking about no 15-year-old kid, some 16-year-old kid that was scared for their life. Witnessed a murder and said something. He not a snitch. He a 16-year-old kid that was scared. He's a 16-year-old kid that took the advice of his parents and he told. Now, if he's a 16-year-old kid that carry guns and sells drugs and don't go to school and is involved in the street world and he's a part of the crime and he snitches and he tells, that's snitching. That's without a doubt snitching. Now, all of this, oh, you can't snitch. Listen, I don't want nobody to be out there involved in criminal activity. I don't want you to take this podcast, take the show, and think anything about that. Don't be involved in criminal activity. But there's some times in life where criminal activity may have to happen. Sometimes in life, you may be involved in things that would be hard to explain to a judge, hard to explain to a jury. So the snitches get stitches? Yeah, listen. Everybody has to deal with the consequences of any of their actions. And you might tell, you might get a reward. You might tell, you might get accosted. That's on the individual person. You know? If I'm down the street and I see 3 men with masks on running somebody's house and I hear gunshots, in my neighborhood, am I not supposed to call the cops? Or is that snitching? Because you in a suburban neighborhood, if you're in an affluent neighborhood, people are going to call the cops. But I guess if you're in the projects, we can't say nothing. You just ran in there and killed the baby or her mom. This woman's kids. And no one can say anything about it? No one can chastise you? And who are y'all afraid of? Who are we afraid of? Y'all afraid of the gangster on the block that run as soon as the cops show up? Think about it, man. They're talking about snitching and protocol and what is all of the cops roll up on the block with 2 cruisers, everybody taking off, running, scared for their lives. No one wants to get caught. And these are the people that you entrust in your life with not to snitch on you. 98% of people in jail because somebody snitched on them or they took a deal. People say, "Oh, we'll snitch." So what about when you're in that interrogation room when they throw you that deal and they tell you, "Hey, you won't see your kids anymore. Your kids is 2 and 3 and they ain't let you eat. They've been starving you, playing mind games on you, tricking you, playing cat and mouse with you, playing good cop, bad cop with you, twisting your words up." Because the first thing when you get with a police officer, I'm not speaking unless I have a lawyer. But obviously that's not happening. And we get these public defenders, these lawyers that really don't care about you, and they're telling these clients to go in there and snitch on you. And they're going to do it. They snitch on their brothers every day of their life. They snitch on everybody. You give them a gun because you talk them into doing some dumb stuff, you think they're not going to snitch on you? They're gullible. That's why they're out there doing the crimes anyway. Just like how you can manipulate people to do crimes, instigate people to do crimes, agitate people to do crimes, peer pressure people to do crimes. That's the same thing these law enforcement that got all the money in the world, all the classes in the world, all the time in the world to make your life a living hell until you snitch or give them what they want. Man, I can't believe he snitched on me. Then you sit back in the jail cell like, man, I probably should have snitched on his ass. Once again, don't go out there and harm people. Don't go out there and treat people like you want to be treated. And I'm not telling you to go and get involved in stuff that has nothing to do with you. Don't get involved in people's relationships and call the cops. If those two grown people didn't involve the police, then you don't have no reason to involve the police. If she's not incapacitated, if he's not incapacitated, unconscious, if there's an adult, that's on them. What's domestic violence? Well, that's on them. And I'm not trying to be heartless, but people are grown, they can make their own decisions. Just like you can make your own decision if you want to snitch. You can make your own decision if you want to file a police report. You can make your own decision if you want to leave that relationship. You can make your own decision if you want to stay in that relationship. You can make every decision to pick up 911 and call the cops. To come up with tips or whatever. And no, I'm not telling people to call the cops. But I'm getting tired of hearing, oh, you snitching, this guy was snitching, he was snitching. Like, how are people snitching? We got people with 8th grade education telling you that this guy snitched and they can't even read. All I seen his name in the paperwork. They misinterpreting everything wrong. They can't read a Dr. Seuss book, now they all up in the paperwork. Try to bring somebody down with them. Think about that. Think about that. People are so afraid of a 19-year-old with a pistol talking about, I won't tell. Out of fear of what they might do to me, out of retribution, what they might do to me and my family. Like I said, snitching is one thing. Reporting crimes is one thing. Also, it's layers to the snitching. Like I said, when you was on the plantation and we trying to get away from master and we coming up with a plan and you go tell the authorities on us, the slave catchers, you're snitching. You're being a traitor. That's the ultimate snitching. They act like you down with somebody, have a plan with them to help your people out, then you go tell on them. That's snitching. If you was in the Black Panther parties and you told the FBI on people, you're snitching. Why is it snitching? Oh, they were doing it for the greater good. No, because you just an undercover cop. You was in there perpetrating the whole time. And when things got too hot, you decided to snitch on people. Or when the plan wasn't going your way, you decided to snitch to save yourself and hurt everybody else. You're a snitch. You're a rat. You're the lowest of lows. You sold out your whole people. It's the same in gang culture. I understand why they say snitch to get snitched. And you come in this gang culture, we all kids, we all go do these things. We sit around here and come up with these plans. I help you fight your battles. You help me fight my battles. We go over here and we shoot these people. These guys jump you. We go over here. We handle the situation. You get caught and you tell on us. That's not honorable. It isn't honorable. That's not honorable. Because like I said, street people got a code. But you got to remember, you got a code with street people. Can you trust them? You can't even trust your parents. You gonna trust a dude next to you? Not to tell on you? Not to take 20 years? Not to tell the boss to save his job? Let's be serious. Let's be serious. When you wake up in the morning, you decide to go out there and do a crime, you got to be willing to take the time that comes along with it if you get caught. That's for everybody. Oh, he's snitching. Dog. Some of this stuff ain't worth it. Doing 80 years compared to 5 years, or doing 80 years compared to 10 years? It's not worth it. And let's go up in this bank and rob them for $5,000. And if we get caught, we're going to jail for life. My life is worth $5,000. Because if you rob a bank, you're getting caught. Nobody has to snitch on you. You're going to get caught. You tell people not to snitch on you, and the video camera is your face. Hey, is that Anthony? Nah, I don't know him. Like, what? Is that you in that video? Like, some of these things, like I said, your lawyer, some of these things you're just caught. Like, what you mean they're snitching? I mean, they don't say nothing. They don't got to say nothing. It's visual evidence. They ain't in there playing fair with you guys. He in there snitching. Yeah, because his first offense, they about to throw the book at him. Because you talked him into doing a crime, and he was soft, and now he in there caught. And you want him to stand up, man up, dog, don't snitch. You got to take them thoughts, man. You got to take them damn thoughts, man. All that career criminal, that's where all need to go. Flush all them thoughts. Flush all that down the drain. Nobody's going to be there to help you. Nobody's going to have any sympathy on you. You're not going to be there to raise your kids. You're not going to be there to help out your wife. You're not going to be there to help out your man. You're not going to be there to help out your parents when they died. You're not going to be able to help out anybody. You're just going to be a burden to the state. Don't do no crimes. You won't have to worry about snitching. I'm talking to you, the guy that's ready to go out there and put a gun on somebody. Don't do no damn crimes. Cut it out. Quit harming people that's less fortunate than you. You're harming somebody that got the income tax shit. For what? I'm going to rob them so I can go get some drugs, so I can do some more illegal stuff. And if they tell on me, I'll say, you better not snitch. You what happened to snitches. Like, yeah, go tell them. He just robbed you. This man just robbed you. Oh, it ain't no whole walking get even. Yeah, you can get even or you're going to prison too. Oh, I went back and killed him. Now you premeditated murder. The system ain't designed for you to win. I'm not saying to go snitch on your brother. Go snitch on your mom, your dad. Call the cops on trivial matters. We're talking about real life serious issues. We're talking about violent crimes. I'm not telling you to snitch on the weed man down the street. Does not hurt nobody. That doesn't do anything to anybody. I'm telling you to go snitch on that dude that's about to go do 3 drive-bys. He already did 5 drive-bys. Ain't nobody said nothing about it. There are cancers in our community. Like I said, if you're going on a drive-by with somebody and you tell them you're a snitch. If somebody do a drive-by on you and you tell them you're not a snitch. I would implore you to tell law enforcement. I would implore you to save yourself, to save your kids, to save your family. Man, but they said snitches get stitches, man. Snitches get stitches. You see what happened when the cops roll up? They run. Take them thoughts in. These dudes ain't serious. Let's be serious, man. You got to protect yourself, protect your own family. So what is snitching? Snitching is if I go do a crime with you and I tell on you to save myself, I'm snitching. You're not snitching if you're the victim of a crime. You're not snitching if you witness a crime and somebody's getting murdered. And this guy's a threat to you. Let's be honest. Let's use common sense here. This has been Think Tank TV, man. Let's really talk about snitching.